Welcome to the Divorcee Diaries YouTube channel. I'm Jacqueline Bell and welcome to another episode of Divorcee Diaries. Last week I talked about my trip to Costa Rica, which was wonderful, and this week I'm very excited to talk to all of you about Jaco, Costa Rica. So I decided to go to Jaco, Costa Rica because I was actually getting kind of tired of roller coaster. There wasn't that much to do, and it was pretty, in my opinion, not walkable to get to like the center of downtown. And I saw in the weather app that there was rain coming in San Jose, and I was like, no, I left Seattle a week ago to avoid this. Let's not let this happen again. I guess a vain reason. So I did a last minute trip, booking through my Costa Rica traveling Facebook group, which is so helpful. So if any of you are traveling to any country and can find a Facebook group that someone has started, or perhaps starting one yourself, for other folks who just want to have a central forum to help each other out for when they are traveling, then I highly recommend that you do that, because it was so helpful for me multiple times in at least 2 different countries. So definitely check that out. And I asked, the group, does anyone know how I can get to Jaco in a safe manner? And I asked my Airbnb host as well how to do that. And folks were like, yeah, don't recommend taking a taxi or an Uber. It's not as safe. But you can do like a shuttle or a bus service. And one of the followers in the Facebook group mentioned that they used a shuttle service called Caribe, and I reached out to them and was able to get a booking for a morning meetup at a hotel in my area, because again, I was in an Airbnb in Rohermoser, and I needed to get to the closest hotel so that I can catch the shuttle. And it was myself and I believe 3 other people that were able to also go from San Jose to Jaco. And the reason that a lot of people usually go to Jaco, and locals included, is because it's the closest beach town from San Jose. So that's why you'll usually get a lot of folks that go, and that's why I went, because it's only 1.5 hours away. And I think that's all I could do, because when you do this shuttle service, you're going through the mountains, and it's windy and it's stop go sometimes. And for those of you who can relate to me and have a bit of motion sickness, it is not great. So prepare yourself, bring your Dramamine, or what one of the women that I met on the shuttle told me about, which really helped, thank goodness for her, was to just focus straight, face forward, and focus straight ahead. And that helped me quite a bit, because once we were able to finally get through the windy high elevation, I was able to relax. What's great also about the shuttles, that they have a centralized stopping point to use the bathroom, to get food, to buy souvenirs, all of those things. So that was really helpful in the process, because it was it was more of like a 2-hour shuttle ride, or 2.5 hour, depending on going and coming back. Coming back into San Jose, expect like 3 hours, because traffic is absurd in Costa Rica, especially during rush hour. That's something to make note of, but I used the Caribe Shuttle and it was great. More information and how to access the shuttle will be included in the notes below. So that's a little bit about the shuttle service. I stayed at the Oceano Boutique Hotel Gallery, which is about 5 blocks inland from the main road in Jaco. This hotel was nice. It was everything that I needed to work functionally in a remote setting. The internet was good. Only here and there was it spotty. But I will say that the hotel itself It's a pretty good boutique hotel. Like I said, a beautiful apartment. It came with, it's a peninsula island that I use as my desk, where I got to look outside at the beautiful mountains on the left, and then like the pool area down below. And I had 2 balconies, which was amazing. A wonderful queen size bed, and just a beautiful space in general, and had a lot of space. So that made me feel very at home, made it feel a little bit less like a hotel and more like an apartment or a condo, which is really what I like to look for. So as far as space and room is concerned, they were spot on. They were clean, they were nice, it was gorgeous. The pool's wonderful, and it's in a central location, which is nice. But I had some qualms. They don't have 24/7 security, so when I was coming in at night, there was just a person waiting at the door, and it was just someone that didn't even ask for whether or not I stayed there. And there's no front desk person, so if you call and you need something attended to, you probably won't get anyone, because there's no one there. They literally shut the lights off, so it's darker, and the lobby area. It's a boutique hotel, right? So there's not a lot there, but because, or there's not as many amenities as say a full-fledged larger hotel, like the Best Western they have there, and some of the other hotels that are right on the beach. So I chose this primarily because of the room size, and it was at a reasonable price for this hotel. But if I had to do it again, I don't think I would stay there, because I did have a car, so I was walking around the area, and at night, Jaco scared me more than San Jose. And thank goodness I made a friend when I was in Jaco from the shuttle ride, and he was nice enough to walk me home. But thank goodness he did, because it was some sketchy characters that I think I would have probably been in a not great situation had I not had another person with me, specifically a larger male person with me, to kind of help me get to my apartment. And he didn't even walk back. He ended up taking a cab, because he was like, I'm not walking down there either by myself. So he was, I think, justified and correct in doing that. So the hotel I would recommend if you have a car, and if you are with friends, but not necessarily as a solo female traveler, because it's too off the beaten path. And if you cannot get an Uber, because honestly there's not that many Ubers in Jaco. There are taxis though, but if you don't have a taxi in the area, you're not going to get one. So it's just, I would have stayed on the main boardwalk. So just a little bit of information there to go on with that. I would say safety in Jaco was more like a 3.5. Daytime was fine. I did not worry about it at all. When it starts to turn dark, just be wary. Yes, just be wary. Food. So in Jaco, it's very touristy. I mean, a lot of locals go there, but so do a lot of tourists, because again, it's the closest city to San Jose, but it's also on the way to Manuel Antonio, which is a huge nature reserve, a huge park that I highly recommend everyone go to. I didn't get to go to it this time, but I'm planning on doing it in the future. The food is great, but it's touristy. So you'll also find places like the Food Walk, which has all of your Westernized food. It has your meats, it has your vegan food, it has your Mexican food, Asian food, all these types of food that you can find in the US, it'll have there. But if you go to some of the restaurants that are a little off the beaten path, like right by my hotel, one of the great things was that a block down my hotel, just about like 10 steps away, was this really amazing, great, authentic Costa Rican restaurant that I just loved. Oh, another thing to know about Costa Rica, I gotta applaud them, because they really do take this COVID circumstance seriously, and many of them still wear their masks, but they also encourage you to wash your hands. So at almost every restaurant or eatery area, you will have a sink stand there to wash your hands, and it's encouraged that you wash your hands first before you go to the restaurant. So that I thought was great, and just showed the seriousness that Costa Ricans are taking with this COVID pandemic. So that was really great, really nice. So the food there, I would say, was great. Again, it's not as inexpensive as a lot of the other Latin American countries, but honestly, it's so cheap. It's not as inexpensive as the other Latin American countries that I've been to, but very good. Beans and rice. I hope you love it because it is everywhere, and I love it. So thankfully it worked out really well. Lots of chicken and rice, lots of caramelized bananas. Oh my gosh, yeah. And if you can get off the beaten path, their authentic fruit smoothies are like $3. $3 for a big old thing. I could not get over that. Once I found that, I went there every day. And guess what? Both of those stalls, the lunch and dinner authentic restaurant that was just 10 steps away from my hotel, and then 10 steps away from that was the smoothie and fruit supermarket, and that's where I got my smoothies. Once I found those places, I don't even think I needed to go anywhere else really. I would do that in the mornings and during my lunch hours, just to go there because it was good food, it was affordable, and they took credit card. I'm just big on that because right now I'm in Buenos Aires, y'all, and this is a cash country. Just FYI, I'll do another video on that. Let me get off this tangent, this soapbox right now, and go back to Costa Rica. Okay, here we go. So some of the activities that I got to do, which I highly, highly recommend that you must do. One is every morning, start yourself off with a walk along the beach. Jaco Beach is about 2.5 miles. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's great, especially if you go at the right time. I went during the summertime and it's low tide, so it's really safe to go. But do be wary during like the winter months or other times when the tides are really high, because my friend that I was traveling with did say that he almost died being brought in from a wave when he was just knee-high in the water. Him and his friend got swept away, and luckily they were able to make it back. But later that week when he was staying there years and years ago, there was someone that got swept away back in the day. So be really careful about the beach. When I went there, again, it's the summer months. I was there in February of 2022, and it was fine. But do pay attention to the signs. But there's a lot of people there, so you can feel pretty safe. And there's a lot of people there, and it's not dangerous. Like I never felt in danger. Everyone's really nice. You just get a lot of people that try to sell you things, whether it's a seat with an umbrella on the beach or surfing lessons, whatever it is. They'll try to sell it to you, but it's not harassing you in any way. But yes, the sunrise walks on the beach are just wonderful. Now on the other side of that, definitely do the sunset. Go to different restaurants. I'll put the couple of restaurants that I went to in my notes below. I don't have them off the top of my head right now, but they are great viewpoints for lots of restaurants.
That makes sense.
For you to just watch the sunset. And because Costa Rica is so close to the equator, the sunset goes down very, very fast. You can see it with your eyes. Of course, put your sunglasses on. You can see it with your eyes that it is going down fast. And it's beautiful, it's spectacular, it has amazing color. And the fact that you can watch it so quickly go down is amazing. Grab yourself a cocktail, enjoy the sunset, or better yet, get yourself a experience through Airbnb experiences to go on a horseback riding tour to watch the sunset, because I did that, and it started off with us just getting on our horses, learning how to kind of lead them in a way. I was very bad at it, I will be honest. But you also were able to go hiking up to a hike path to El Muro, and that's where you get to go to this viewpoint that overlooks Playa Jaco, and it was just amazing. When I tell you how beautiful it was, I remember you can see the pictures here, but that does not do it justice at all. So this kind of ruins, which are not ruins, but they're more recent, a recent establishment that was never completed, was because a hotel, from what the tour guide mentioned to me, is that a hotel was going to be built at that site. And what happened was the owner actually ended up dying, and instead of continuing the project, he actually made it so that when he died, he had his the rest of the structure donated to Costa Rica. So now there's this framework of infrastructure of what should have been this beautiful hotel overlooking Jaco and the ocean and the forest that now everyone can enjoy and see, and it's really, really beautiful even though it's an unfinished building and it was left in that way. It was absolutely wonderful to go and see, and also on your way up this trail, because you can also hike it. It's fine to hike it as well, but on the way up the trail with the horses, it was just phenomenal. You could hear so much nature. You could see a lot of birds. We didn't get to see any monkeys this time, unfortunately. I think it was a lot of people around, but hopefully next time I can see it, because I do recommend it. And on the way up, if you do a hike or if you go on the horse, you will be able to go to different viewpoints, take pictures, or to watch the sunset at different points there too. But on the way down, after we're finishing the hike and crossing the road, we went to the beach. And some of you might follow me on Instagram. If you haven't yet, please do. That's where I do all of my crib tours of like the places that I'm staying, and highlights of what I'm doing in real time and what I'm eating, what I'm experiencing, all of that on my IG and Facebook accounts. So do follow me there. And it was just the most beautiful sunset experience, like much better than watching it from, with a cocktail at a restaurant, sure. But when you are there on the beach, on top of a beautiful horse, like just watching the sunset with people that are also admiring it, it's amazing. All the locals did it. Like you can see a line of people that just come to watch the sunset along the beach because it truly is spectacular. And every local will do that and talk about how beautiful it is. And even our tour guide said, "This is my payoff." He's referring to the sunset. Like, this is how I get paid, by seeing this beautiful sunset. It's the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. So do that. Go to Jaco, go to the Pacific coast of Costa Rica and enjoy it there. If you do end up going, I didn't go to the eastern coast, the Caribbean side of Costa Rica, but you can go there as well and watch the sunrise, which is great, and also get a different feel. And from what I've heard from the locals there, is that it's a very different Caribbean feel. If you've ever been to Belize, it's probably a bit more like the Creole feel, very similar to that. So that's something that I think is worthwhile. It's something I'm going to definitely do next time. Another thing I would recommend all solo travelers do is to go to your pool of your hotel if you have one. That is because that's where I was able to meet a lot of people as well. So not only was I able to make a friend at the shuttle, but I was also able to make friends at the hotel. So going down for a lunchtime poolside, I guess work session, or just going down there just to enjoy your lunch hour at the pool during the really hot points of the day was really, really helpful for me. And I got to meet a lot of people, and that's not just here. I did that in Rio and met good friends. I did that in other places, and you meet really good people at the pool. Everybody just congregates there. It's a lot easier to meet people and hang out. So do that if you have the time. And I also wanted to share some other activities with you that I didn't get to do, but I would highly recommend them because I didn't get to stay for as long as I would like. And like you all know, I also work while I'm traveling. So I would recommend doing the zip lining that's offered there, because the people that I met could not talk about it enough. So try the zip lining out and go to Manuel Antonio if you can. It's about an hour south of Jaco. And since you're already in Jaco, might as well just go down an hour south. It's flat terrain. It won't be windy. It shouldn't be windy. But that's definitely on my bucket list for next time I come to Costa Rica. So that's just a little bit of what I recommend to you about Jaco. I really, really hope that you all found this video enjoyable. Please do give it a thumbs up. And please do subscribe to my channel, because I really enjoy making all these videos for you. And I want to know more about what it is you need to see as a traveler, as a solo female traveler, as someone who's just gonna go visit Costa Rica. So please let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely be able to answer those questions for you, or I'll include them in my next iterations of videos as they come, because as you all know, I'm here for 2 months. Or in Latin America for 2 months, and I'm so excited to share with all of you all my adventures. So have a good day. Mwah. Talk to you later. See y'all.